Shanghai witnessed a stunning moment as Lewis Hamilton pulled off an incredible pole position, marking a major breakthrough for Ferrari. After a tough start in Melbourne, the Maranello squad has bounced back in a big way. But while Hamilton consistently outpaced his teammate throughout qualifying, Ferrari's strategy decisions raised a few eyebrows. Could this be the beginning of his dominance at the team? And more importantly, is Ferrari finally making the right calls when it matters most? For Formula One fans, seeing Hamilton clock that breathtaking lap was a moment of pure excitement. He edged out Verstappen by just 0.18 seconds, securing the top spot. Meanwhile, McLaren showed serious pace, with Piastri locking in P3 after Norris missed his final flying lap. With Leclerc starting from P4, Ferrari now has a strong chance to fight at the front. These positions set up a crucial opportunity for the team, especially in a sprint qualifying format where track position is everything. But can they maintain their edge when the real battle begins? Hamilton's reaction to his pole position was filled with pure joy and a bit of disbelief. Speaking after the session, he admitted, "I didn't expect that result, but I'm so happy and proud. The last race was a disaster, and we knew there was more speed in the car. We just couldn't unlock it. But coming here, to a track I love, everything just clicked." Shanghai has always been a special circuit for Hamilton, and this time it delivered a moment to remember. Ferrari's turnaround from Melbourne's struggles to locking in P1 and P4 is a huge confidence boost, but their real challenge is just beginning. Sprint qualifying is one thing, but keeping those positions in the race requires a solid strategy. Tire management will be the key factor, and Ferrari has to prove they have the durability to hold off the likes of Verstappen and the McLarens. If they can get it right, this could be their chance to re-establish themselves as true front-runners. Meanwhile, an interesting team decision stood out. Ferrari made a call to swap car setups between Hamilton and Leclerc before SQ3, recognizing that Hamilton had the better pace. While this isn't a long-term prioritization, it does show that Ferrari is learning to make sharper strategy moves. Leclerc wasn't thrilled with the decision, but he understood the importance of maximizing the team's potential. Now, the question remains, can he turn his P4 start into a podium finish alongside Hamilton? Leclerc might not have been entirely pleased with Ferrari's decision, but he knows the stakes. His position on the grid isn't bad at all, and with the right moves, he could help Ferrari secure a double podium finish. If things play out perfectly, could we even see a Ferrari 1-2? That would be a dream scenario for the team, especially so early in the season. Even though it's just a sprint event, it would send a strong message. Ferrari is back in the fight. One major talking point from qualifying was the narrow gap between the drivers. Even with his best possible lap, Hamilton would have only started P3 if McLaren hadn't made mistakes. That alone shows how intense the battle at the front has become. In such a close fight, the ability to extract every last fraction of a second from the car can make all the difference. Hamilton delivered when it mattered, but keeping that edge in the race will be a completely different challenge. A concern for Ferrari, however, is the time difference between their two drivers. Leclerc was 0.2 slower than Hamilton on his optimal lap, and in a field this competitive, that's a noticeable gap. It's only the second race of the weekend, and challenges are still ahead. With Piastri and Verstappen lurking close behind, nothing is guaranteed. Verstappen, in particular, has a habit of turning tough situations into wins, and with his ability to fight through the field, Hamilton's lead off the line is far from secure. With Hamilton and Verstappen lining up on the front row, fans can't help but feel a sense of déjà vu. It brings back memories of their intense battles from 2021, only this time, Hamilton is in Ferrari red, and Verstappen has added 3 more titles to his name since that controversial season. But just because the balance of power has shifted over the years, doesn't mean Hamilton is ready to back down. If anything, this could be the spark that reignites their rivalry. Reflecting on his performance, Hamilton pointed out that his first sector was where he gained the most time. "That's where I made the biggest improvement," he said. "But there's still more to find, and I'll make sure to apply that in the next session." Seeing a Ferrari on pole in Shanghai is a rare sight, and while the excitement is justified, the real test comes in the race. McLaren is expected to be a serious threat, especially with their strong long-run pace. While Ferrari has made strides in tire management over the winter, McLaren's ability to manage degradation could make a huge difference over the race distance. If Ferrari wants to hold on to this advantage, they'll need a near-flawless strategy, especially with Verstappen lurking and always ready to pounce on the smallest mistake. Hamilton remains realistic about his chances, acknowledging that this will be his first real race run in dry conditions with Ferrari. "I didn't get to do a proper race run in Bahrain, and last weekend was all about the wet conditions. So tomorrow is going to be my first real test in this car. I'm hoping we can hold position, but I know McLaren and Max will be quick," he admitted. Ferrari may have secured pole, but the race is where it really matters. Meanwhile, Verstappen's ability to recover from a tough practice session and nearly snatch pole shows just how dangerous he remains. Starting P20 in FP1 and then finishing just 0.018 seconds off the top spot proves that Red Bull still has a serious contender, even if they aren't as dominant as before. However, one major concern for Red Bull is the performance of their second driver. With Lawson struggling and facing track limit violations, Verstappen will be carrying the team's hopes alone once again. Despite being so close to pole, Verstappen wasn't entirely satisfied. "In practice we were quite a bit off, so to be on the front row is a great result. The lap was good, but jumping from medium to soft tires with no real reference is always tricky," he explained. His comments suggest that Red Bull's pace might not be as strong as expected, but with Verstappen, you can never rule anything out. Even if the car isn't the best, he has the ability to extract everything from it when it matters most. Verstappen's concerns about Red Bull's pace raise an interesting question. Can he actually challenge for the win, or will Ferrari and McLaren have the upper hand? While he admitted that the car wasn't quick enough to fight at the very front, history has shown that Verstappen doesn't need the best machinery to deliver top-tier results. The biggest challenge for Red Bull this weekend isn't just outright speed, it's tire degradation. If the team struggles to manage tire wear over the race distance, it could open the door for Ferrari and McLaren to capitalize. Ferrari, on the other hand, has worked extensively on improving their tire management over the winter. While they might not have the absolute fastest car, they could have one of the most balanced packages in these conditions. That could prove crucial in a race where consistency over multiple laps matters more than just raw pace. However, McLaren seems to have an edge in this area, which means Hamilton and Leclerc will need to be cautious about how they manage their stints. Heading into the sprint race, the battle at the front is shaping up to be a tense one. Hamilton has pole, but Verstappen is right beside him, ready to attack at the first opportunity. McLaren's duo is lurking, waiting for a chance to pounce. And Leclerc, though slightly off the pace in qualifying, could still play a key role in Ferrari's overall strategy. The stage is set for an intense showdown, and every decision, whether it's at the start, during the pit stops, or in the final laps, could be the difference between victory and disappointment. As the grid prepares for the sprint race, all eyes are on Hamilton and Verstappen at the front. The tension is undeniable. Two of the biggest names in the sport, side by side, with everything to prove. Hamilton, eager to show that his move to Ferrari was the right decision, and Verstappen, determined to remind everyone why he's the reigning champion. With only 19 laps to make an impact, the start will be crucial, and any mistake could prove costly. One key factor in this race will be tire management. Ferrari has made strides in this area, but McLaren remains a serious threat. The Woking-based squad has demonstrated excellent long-run pace, and if they can stay close in the early laps, they could pose a major challenge as the race unfolds. Piastri and Norris are well positioned to capitalize on any slip-ups, And with the sprint format leaving no room for error, strategy will be just as important as raw speed. For Verstappen, the goal is simple: get ahead of Hamilton as soon as possible. If he can grab the lead early, he has a strong chance of controlling the pace and dictating the race. But Hamilton won't make it easy. He's been in this position countless times before and knows exactly how to defend under pressure. Meanwhile, Leclerc, starting from P4, will be aiming to disrupt the battle ahead and push Ferrari toward a double podium finish. The stage is set, and the battle lines are drawn. With a mix of experience, youth, and pure determination, this sprint race has all the ingredients for a thrilling spectacle. Now, it's time to see who can turn their qualifying success into race day glory. As the lights go out, Hamilton makes a strong start, but Verstappen is right alongside him, looking for any gap to take the lead. The first few corners are a test of nerves, with neither driver willing to give an inch. Behind them, Norris and Piastri are locked in their own battle, ready to pounce on any mistakes from the front runners. Leclerc, starting from P4, is determined to keep Ferrari's momentum going and push for a podium finish. As the laps unfold, tire management becomes a key factor. Ferrari's improved degradation helps Hamilton maintain his pace, but Verstappen is relentless, constantly applying pressure. McLaren, as expected, shows strong race pace, with Norris and Piastri staying within striking distance. Every lap, the battle intensifies, with drivers pushing their cars to the absolute limit. With just a few laps remaining, the fight at the front is still undecided. Hamilton is holding firm, Verstappen is searching for a way through, and McLaren is waiting to capitalize on any late drama. The tension is at its peak, and one small mistake could change everything. But Hamilton, with all his experience, keeps his composure and crosses the line to take the sprint victory, securing a crucial boost for Ferrari. It's a statement win, not just for Hamilton, but for the entire Ferrari team. After a rough start to the season, this result proves they have the pace to challenge at the front. Verstappen finishes close behind, showing that Red Bull, despite their struggles, is still a force to be reckoned with. McLaren, meanwhile, solidifies its place as a genuine contender, with both Norris and Piastri delivering strong performances. As the celebrations begin, the focus now shifts to the main race. Can Hamilton carry this momentum into Sunday's Grand Prix? Will Verstappen strike back? And how will McLaren factor into the battle? The season is heating up, and if this sprint race was any indication, we're in for an unforgettable fight ahead.